Welcome back to the Core Collective friends. My name is Jeff Bullard. Today I'm joined by Claywood,
Woo!
Patrick Booth,
Hey there, everyone.
and Brandon Weber.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome back to another exciting episode here. We're going to discuss some fun things today, but I just want to say I'm happy to be back. It's been so long. We've done some holidays. I've been touring at conventions, selling HeroClix and stuff, so that's been very exciting. But I'm happy to get back and talk some HeroClix with you guys. So let's first talk about the collation with Black Panther.
Before that, that's just Jeff's easy way of saying that he got fat over the holidays. Just want to make sure everyone knows
Oh,
that.
heck no, dude. I have been cutting
Just
weight
looking good, bro. Just looking
steadily.
good.
Dude, my OMAD
That's
diet has
health.
been solid.
That's health. Everyone keep up with that. I want to see more HeroClix people be healthier, lose weight, and smell less. You guys can do this.
I'll let you guys know when I'm under 2. I'm very close. So maybe by the end of the year.
I wanna start this segment if you don't mind, Jeff.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So I actually want to go I want to back this up, even before Black Panther, and I'll give you like a little bit of background why I wanted to talk about this. So, I think people have been looking at the collation, and so and for those who are totally in the know, collation is like how the different pieces are distributed kind of within a case or a brick of the product. And and so a lot of the sets, I think you get 10 boosters in a brick. There's typically 3 super rares in a brick, 1 chase or 1 prime, maybe both.
It originally was supposed to be.
It seems to vary significantly across every different set. I hate to make this super ranty. It's probably going to turn out that way, but I think this discussion needs to be had. And here's why I want to voice my frustration. So I purchased a Deadpool Weapon X case from WizKids for their Black Friday sale.
Okay.
And I opened it up over the weekend. And for the first time in my entire history playing HeroClix, and I buy almost 2 cases of every set consistently for the last, over 10 years. I've never, ever had a case where I had 0 chases until this weekend.
You got the crappy case.
0.
Oh, for reals? That's happened to me multiple times.
And I think that it's fine. It's I can almost understand it if it's a fluke, but as I looked up my case online and I was curious is this a common thing or is this just a fluke? It turns out that there are multiple people, at least half a dozen, who have had the exact same case, the exact same super rares, primes, and no chases. And so it's one thing for it to be a fluke. It's another thing to actually have a standard case layout that has 0 chases. This is not a factory error. This is not oh shoot, whoops, the factory screwed up and forgot to put in a chase, or it's messed up. This is actually by design. And I think that's really bad.
So I know when I was at one point I was opening a good amount of sealed product for singles, right? Dude, I've opened up 3 identical dud cases all together in a row.
Which set
dude.
was that? Because I
don't remember.
I look at almost all. I look at the standard collation across all the different cases, all the different sets, and I guess I missed this one, but I've never seen a standard.
It was when I was at the
case
old
layout
it was when
that
I was
has
at the
no
old shop.
chases.
I remember with Rebirth. I opened up a single case of Rebirth, and I think this is when it started to become more problematic. I think in that year, whatever that year was when Rebirth came out, I got 2 exact bricks in the same case that were identical to the T. Now, from my point of view, it was okay because I got the Prime Superman, the Bizarro twice, and I got the exact same chase twice, which was the high end one. So I wasn't hurt. But think about it. If we back when I started, when the game first came out, if you didn't get a chase, or back then it was like a unique, was like pretty much the same thing, right? In a case, we just said, "Oh, you got the bum case," right? Because back then every case came with one unique at least, right? And 3 to 5 super rares back then, or they were like specific veterans that were really good, right? It really cleaned itself up when everything kind of really got a clarified rarity, right? But that was the selling point. Their selling point was buy it by the brick because you're going to get a chase. Right? Buy it by a case, you'll guarantee your chase. I was like, okay, one chase, one case. It was a great way of selling it. And as the years went on, they went and said, okay, you still get one chase per case if you buy the case, and you get 2 primes. 1 prime per brick. And we're like, oh, cool. Even if you got the bum brick, right, where you still got a prime. You still got something that was unique to that brick. Great. Buying by a case meant 2 primes, 1 chase.
Hopefully not the common, right?
Right. But something happened. I want to say in the past, 5 to 8 years, right, of Heroclix. Maybe they changed factory. Maybe someone decided to become the new whatever of management. Maybe there's just gremlins out there in the factory that just really hate us. Who knows, right? But I could definitely agree with Clay on this. Is that I've seen some really stinkers, and I've seen some really things on Facebook where people say I opened an entire brick and I got no super rares. How does that happen?
Dude, that's crazy. I know specifically with the Wonder Woman 80th is when I started recognizing like specific bricks. Like if you pulled 2 figures, I could tell you what's in the rest of the brick. Like if I knew your SRs, I knew exactly what your chase was. Right?
Because like, I actually think it's been something like that for a while. And having like standard case layouts, I don't have any issue with that.
That's automation. That's what that is. That's why people can figure out where it is in the brick if you think about it, right?
That's right. And you know what? That's actually great. I'm happy that they do that. I don't have any issue with that. But when when one of those layouts
is a dud,
doesn't have anything, is a dud. And so I mean, it's an awful experience. I mean, like, I try to think, if I was somebody who was like new, just starting out, like, I'd be like livid. I didn't get anywhere close to the value that I paid.
Threw away my $200
because the value's all in the chase, and maybe now, I mean,
SRs have been coming up.
They have. The other thing that they've been doing too is they've been creating more and more chases. Each set typically has more and more chases, and the outlier here is Masters of Time actually was kind of back to what the standard number of chases they had.
8, right?
But I think it feels like with Empire, they really ratcheted up the number of chases, and if you're going to have like a set with 12 chases, man, you have to have 1 chase every brick, or it's just impossible to.
So they did do that with the original, was it JLU stuff?
Wonder Woman was like that too.
And Wonder Woman they did with that, and that would have been okay if they flipped the formula for chases and primes that were originally a thing. 2 chases now per case, 1 prime. It's the same formula. That's okay, because if you think about it, I'm going to go off of what you just said, Clay. If I'm a brand new person, I don't need 2 primes, right? Because you can only play 1, but I could play both chases, right? Yeah. So that's okay if you flip that formula around. But with what Jeff just said, with you tell me 2 figures you pulled in your chase, in your case or your brick, and I'll tell you what the brick is, not great, especially if duds are popping up.
Yeah. I mean, imagine like if you're if you are a small comic like collectible store, you can only and you're not selling product by the case
pallet,
like right. And you buy one of these cases, and your players are savvy enough to understand that, oh, that's the case that's a dud. Nobody's going to buy anything
It's going to sit there.
that brick. It's going to sit there. I mean, it's just such bad business. And
It's
it
kind of
needs to change.
It's kind of the inherent fallacy, if you think about it, where when you open a brick and someone says, Chase was pulled, no one else is going to buy any of the other packs, right?
Yeah. So this leads us to Black Panther. I watch all the unboxing videos. I kind of have to, running AC units because I enjoy it. I like to see.
We all know you love it.
I have never seen more sad, unhappy, disappointed unboxing videos than I have with Black Panther. Like it was like WizKids somehow decided to send all the bricks that lacked a chase to their unboxing videos, and it astounds me because that's like their key marketing opportunity that really generates buzz for a set.
So if you're gonna stack the bricks, stack those, right?
Or at least give everyone the thing what they just did to Porter, where I pulled the same chase in the chase booster that I did in the brick. Here's 3 additional ones, man. Make the excitement happen.
We haven't even mentioned Kevin. I mean, what is that if not one of the worst collation problems that you've ever seen?
He was never in a booster, and
the chute got jammed. The chute got jammed. It never came out. They made all the product, and some guy was like, "Oh, we have a whole chute full of guys."
They're just lucky there's no repercussions for that.
I don't even want to. I don't know. I don't think that needs to be talked about. I just think it's like, I think it just highlights that something within their process is super wrong and needs to be fixed.
The system is broken somewhere, right?
Right. And maybe I would have hoped with the Kevin situation that would be like the
nail in the coffin.
Yeah, really, that spurs on change, because that really does, open them up to potential liability. But I think they've actually done a great job of making that right.
No,
this whole Deadpool thing is not made right. You see so many people. It's not just the unboxing videos, but what people have experienced in the unboxing is played out as people have opened all this Black Panther
in real
product.
Life, and the ones that weren't recorded, right?
And there have been a huge number of people who are grossly disappointed and not buying Black Panther. Now, there are some God packs out there, and kudos to you if you pull one. There are some amazing bricks that you can get. But man, on the other side of that case is a complete dud. And it's like the feast or famine aspect of this is so much worse than what I've seen in this game before. And it really needs to be addressed.
You're very true. And I would definitely say what Jeff was saying before was the set as a whole, right, needs to be alluring to the player, right? And years ago they decided, hey, commons, uncommons, rares, that's designed for the peon/basic players, and now they turn that into pulp, which is great. I think that was a fantastic idea that they did that with pulp now, right? But from a marketing standpoint, right, your super rares and chases need to be the allure for purchasing, right? And when your collation, since that's what we're talking about, is off, right? How are you going to get people to buy if it's not alluring? And the problem with Black Panther, since that's our topic right now, right, is I've seen this set, and I looked at this set and was like, man, I am buying my local case, and that's it, right? Because this set is butts, right? Now, we've had our discussion about the set as a whole, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at the set when we were talking about it, a lot of our positive reviews about the set were in the commons, uncommons, and rare slot, right? A lot of the super rares, we were like, you don't need that. It's not that great. Or, oh, man, that's terrible, right? there was a couple chases where we were like, this is terrible. This is the boo-boo chase.
Yeah, like you don't want to pull the chase.
Right? And then
And then
some
you're
of the
like, Atum.
chases, we were like, oh, look, Atum, Gaia, and Bast, right? They would be cool, but they're not as cool as Conchu, Emit, and Tower, like we talked about. So it's just like they're the cheap knockoff. So where is the allure there, right? And you just go, so the big thing that people want is a legacy card?
Or Hadari. Yeah.
Right? Or Hadari? Now, I will say this way, Vegas has really flourished with this set because we've had like 10 to 20 Hadaris pulled in town.
Oh, wow.
But our distribution has been awful otherwise when it comes to the chases. Like I've seen 2 or 3 God packs pulled, but have you seen what comes in the God packs?
Yeah, it's not.
It's not the ones you want.
It's not
Zeus.
It's not 5 chases.
Thor.
Zeus.
Ares.
What? It's like Zeus is one of the chases in there.
Thor.
Loki's the chases.
Loki.
And the other one is what? Chaos King and
I think Atom's in one of them, right?
I think there's. I've
I think
heard
it's
there's
Chaos
2
King and Tomb.
actually. I've heard
Right.
there's 2 types of God packs.
Yeah, I saw
Oh.
a Hadari Yao, like Atom, like Zeus pack with like Hercules and Ares.
Yeah, I've seen the Atum one and our local Pidgeotto pulled the Zeus one, right? The one with Loki and stuff like that in it.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, okay, cool. There's a Chaos King one and there's a Loki one. Great. That's cool. But if you think about it, where's Bast? Where's Gaia? Where's the ones that people want? Hadari doesn't seem like she's in one. You know, maybe she's in 1 or 2 of them, but that's the main draw of the set. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
God packs are great. But coming back to the main idea, which is you have to make your set desirable because this is a set that's going to sit on shelves. And a great
Yeah.
transition point right now is compared to the upcoming set of Collectors Trove, this set's going to sit on shelves. Collectors Trove is not going to be even hitting shelves because people will just be like, just give me it straight out of the truck, baby.
See,
Right.
I actually, so now, I don't know, Patrick, have you looked, but after this past week, after last week, we know all of the Kerr. You get, in fact, the set is so small,
It's tiny.
you get a full set of commons, uncommons, and rares in 1 brick.
You are not wrong, but we're talking about desirability here now, aren't we? Right? The basic player, right? The basic player. So like your home people, and I think WizKids a long time ago, if I remember correctly, dropped the percentages of like competitive to non-competitive. Now, obviously, it would have changed since then, but if I remember correctly, they were saying like it's an 80-20 split to non-competitive to competitive, right? But the mass majority of money spent is on competitive people spend the most, right? So let's just say, make it a basic assumption based on what you just said, every non-competitive person buys 1 brick. So 8% of your population buys a brick, which is now, I believe, going to $220, FYI, right? That's a
Ouch.
kick in the GD teeth. Glad I'm dropping $500 for a case, WizKids. Thanks.
I think when I heard about Collectors Trove, like I was kind of thinking, oh, they're going to do something like, it's going to be a small set. We already know that. It's going to be something like Batman Team Up.
Yep.
And like that means a smaller set, but that there's going to be 12 boosters in a brick. So you're going to get fewer pieces in the set, but that 5th slot is going to be the equipment, and it's going to be just a ton of equipment.
Yep.
Now it looks like there's actually probably 8 or 9 pieces of equipment, which is, not that much more than what we've seen in some of these other equipment sets.
To add on to what
Yeah.
you're saying, Clay, the equipment that I've seen is not super desirable to me. Like, there's a couple of cool things, but none of them seems like, oh, I want to play that equipment.
I think it's pretty cool so far. I mean, I always like equipment, but like,
Have we seen Mjolnir? Oh,
let's,
yeah, we have,
let's,
right?
I thought it was going to be like 20, 30
Yeah,
pieces
yeah,
of
yeah.
equipment or something like crazy.
Something to like restock the format, right?
But I'm
Yeah,
looking
after
at it, it's
Exosaurus.
like, okay, there's 8 super rares, like, I mean, there's as many
not even all
super rares
super
as
rares
there
come with
are
equipment.
uncommons. It's
It's
such
cards.
a weird set. And
cards.
and honestly, like, I don't understand why we get 12 boosters now. What is that doing? Like, if we're still just getting 3 super rares and a chase, like,
why are we getting extra boosters?
Yeah.
Like, all we're getting is extra commons and uncommons. Like, why am I paying an extra $40 for more crap that I don't want? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
To have more in circulation that's devalued. Right? Because your commons
it wasn't valuable anyways.
I know. I'm just saying, like, it's even less valuable now because there's more of it in circulation.
Yeah. Whereas, like, something like Batman Team Up really held its value because everybody wanted the constructs. The constructs continue to hold value all the way up until retirement.
And the rings too, right? Like everything, even in Silver, even in Silver Age, you still just play the ring on Porter just cause for the perplex, right?
Yep. So I'm after. I know I'm not alone in saying that, like, I'm a lot less excited about Collectors Trove than I was 2 weeks ago.
I can see your point, right? But this, I'm going to quote one of our local HeroClix players. This is what's called a power set, right? Black Panther is a set that was designed for people to come in on. And I think WizKids does this in a really interesting wave where they put a set out where it's great for beginners. As we just said, Black Panther is a set that's great for beginners. It's got a great CUR in it, and that's where the beginners are going to play, right? The Wakanda keyword is fantastic, right? We all can agree that's going to be the next pulp keyword out there, right? It's great for that. But when you have that set, your next set must be either the competitive set or it must be the power set. And the power set, the definition of that is a set where there's going to be a good chunk of the set you're going to be like, ugh. But there's going to be several super rares and or a special game of element that's going to basically tell everyone, I need to buy this set. And in this upcoming set, that allure is with the objects. You are getting the Gem of Sidorak, which people have been craving for years. They are bringing back, for all intents purposes, right, Battlefeet cards from back in the day, okay? And right, you actually have a decent amount of really cool chases from storylines that nerdy people want. How many people are going to not want a Thanos with a gauntlet and he plays like he has the gauntlet? How many people are going to want Dr. Doom, with the magic book, right? Or the Darkhold, or Doctor Strange with the Darkhold? You can expect
do look amazing.
All the chases to be that way. This is the power set. It's not the competitive set. It's not going to have like figures where you're like, oh, I'm going to do really cool stuff with it. This is the set where you're like, I want to buy it because it's got a really cool game element in it. It's got something new. It's got something fresh. The last set that I remember this was in was the, like you said, BTU with the constructs, right? Usually the power set is the DC set. This is one of the first times in a while that I've seen a Marvel power set. Because DC usually gets the cool hotness, like with the sculpts, the clear through plastic stuff was the last one I remember, right? Marvel hasn't had one in a while, and that's what this set is, right? I'm all for it because there's some formula out there that makes them want to do this. I don't know why, right? But it works.
So I appreciate your view of like them kind of doing the formula, but as you brought up, is the Black Panther is the beginner set, right? Mm-hmm. But what have they done to increase their player base? What advertising?
Why do they care about that?
Right? Like, what's the point of having a beginner set if you're not going to try and get new players into the game?
Correct. And you know what their argument's going to be if you ask them that today? I'm pretty sure their answer is, well, we'd put out 2 play-at-home kits this set.
Well, wasn't one of them an online exclusive? No, both of them were in store. Both of them were in store.
Yes, they were.
I guess.
Right? Think of it from a marketeering point.
So you're going to give one figure and one figure to teach someone how to play? Like,
But that's their way of getting new people in. Is like, hey, you're interested?
I liked it when they did the sidekick nights. Mm-hmm. Like, that stuff was fun.
Think about it. When did the new starters just come out?
Recently.
Within the same timeline as Black Panther came out, right?
Coincidence?
And
coincidence?
Yes. Maybe.
They're so backed
Maybe.
up. No, they were releasing product a
They got
week early
medication
on
for that,
their
FYI.
website. Huh?
They got medication for that, but they don't take it.
No, they were releasing a product a week early on their website. Because what is it? The Iconics aren't supposed to release until with the 11th, and they already have it out for order on their website. Available now.
Except for Mr. Freeze, for somehow reason that didn't come out around Christmas time like it's supposed to.
No, but at one point when Masters of Time was sold out of the warehouse and I couldn't order it, you could order it from WizKids and get a free snow globe, Mr. Freeze.
How'd that go for you? Where is it?
I didn't order it.
Right, that's another thing that kills me a lot of the times is
I can get a Mr. Freeze from Alliance.
I love the fact that WizKids is like, hey, buy local. Right? They literally tell us, buy local. But at the same time, with their other hand, they go like, ooh, look at this shiny Bigfoot. You want this shiny Bigfoot? You got to buy from me, and my prices are going to be more than your local store, and it'll probably take 3 times the amount of time for you to get it because, God forbid, we don't have one of the things you ordered in that entire order. We're going to hold on to it for 5 months until it comes out.
Yeah, but don't feel bad because your local store couldn't order it anyway.
Yeah,
any of it.
The first order I've ever made with WizKids that's coming out the quickest is the fact that on Black Friday I bought 2 bricks of Avengers Defender War for $90 just because I wanted to get myself a Sasquatch.
And possibly a Black Panther.
Well, that was the thing that I'm gambling on. And as a vegan, I'll gamble a little bit on that.
I was like, that was just, there's good chases in that set. It was overall a good set. I like that one. Chase Hawkeye.
Yep. Had a lot of chases. Got 1 chase per brick.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is we made the joke as I was doing it that I'm only going to get like individual boosters that have just been retaped together. That's the joke. I hope it doesn't happen.
Oh my gosh. That's wild.
All right. So that's the rant. Sorry.
No, dude, I'm with you.
WizKids, if you're out there, you can send me an email or anyone else an email in this podcast, and we'll help you do it. And we'll probably do it for cheaper than the guy that you're paying for, right? We'll see what happens. Or at least we're available for an idea session. Any way we can help you.
Because as I've been selling TCGs, right? Like, even if something good is pulled from, say, the box, right? They keep buying because there's other good things in the box to pull, right? The value's still there. Like it's a different mentality. It's interesting. I'm starting to like TCGs a lot.
I love the new One Piece card game. Want to know why?
Me too.
Because every box has at least 1 to 2, so at least 1 of their alternate art card. Right. It also has at least 1 of their really cool resource card in there. It doesn't do anything special, but it's in there. And like a third of the packs, I don't remember how many packs come in a box. A third
24.
of them. So that'd be what? 8? 8 packs have like what we would consider super rare cards in them. And it's always the same. And I bet you they use the same type of factories that WizKids uses to make their product.
And they're consistent. Like, I don't hear on the forums like people complain about dud boxes. Oh, I got the dud box. Like, they're like, oh, I pulled fire. Like, everyone's like, oh, I pulled this. Yep. And no one's ever like, boo-hoo me, right?
Yep.
So, anywho, speaking of some new cool product coming out, say his name 3 times, friends. Betelgeuse.
Oh, no. Don't do that. It's showtime.
So, thoughts on our newly released friend?
He's my best friend right now. I was just building a team with him.
So, are you one playing him?
In the weeks leading up to this, there's been a huge amount of like worry within the broader community. With a lot of people even saying that he should be banned or errated even before he hits the map for the first time.
And those people are uneducated when it comes to Heroclix. right? And business, because you never do that with a product that's not random. People have to go out and buy this guy, right? It's either you buy him or you don't. And if you mess with it before it comes out, no one's going to buy it, right? That's just how it works, right? And when it comes to these iconics, let's be honest, we've had iconics now for 2 years, I think now, right?
At least, yeah.
When they did iconics, the first 2 or 3 were kind of duddy, right? Spider-Man was cool. The Wolverine in the bed was cool. Thanos had a great power, but it was too expensive, right?
They looked cool, but that's about it.
That was what their original selling point for iconics was this is a cool fig. It's from an iconic moment in the comics, and it'll do something based off of that.
But they didn't sell very well.
They didn't sell the greatest, right? And then Superman. I think until Death of Superman came out, right? And then Death of Superman. Batman was the Bane, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So mind you,
Batman.
The Death of Superman was the only retail exclusive they've ever done in the past recent history.
And the only reason Batman and Superman kicked off the iconic craze is because they went back to what I like to call the Chaos War Scarlet Witch formula, right? Where you bought the Fast Forces only because of that one figure. 50 points back in the day for Perplex, TK, Prob. That Scarlet Witch. Holy smokes, that was the best. Everyone ran out and bought 2, right? It's the same thing with iconics. Once you hit that point of no return, they're like, wait a second. We could outsell ourselves? Wait, sell out of this product? As long as I put one bust-ass figure in there?
Yeah.
Let's do that. And then we got Kong. Then we got Moriarty. Then we got
Project Butterfly.
Poison Ivy.
We got Butterfly. Technically, I think the
Butterfly and Man were in the same one.
The Peacemaker, that's like the cold open, is
that's all in the same one. No, I think it's all they're all in one.
Hold on, I have it right here.
I think they're all in the same one.
I think they are in the same one.
Yeah, I know it was Butterfly and Burn.
And it comes with
the same one.
Yeah.
It comes with the guy in the green suit.
Yeah. So you're like, oh my god, I gotta buy all this. Huh. Right? And the players were not wrong. The competitive players were like, I gotta buy this. Yeah. Right? Because nowadays, Butterfly is our Swiss Army knife when it comes to problems in competitive. Right? God forbid you play Silver Age and you don't play a Butterfly. What are you doing, kid? Right? You wanna lose? Right? That's pretty much what that answer was. Right? Butterfly is a saving grace right now for anyone that's not playing one of the first turn win, infinite, whatever trips that are happening in Silver Age. And in Modern Age, right, it provides you that little bit of option where it's like, I have an A version of my team, a B version of my team, and a C version of my team, right? Because sideline space has now become such a luxury, right? That it has that one figure has effectively created what was considered a side deck, right? In Magic or in other card games where you're like, okay, I'm going to play best of 3. I'm going to take these 2-3 cards out, put these 2-3 cards in. Now I have a better shot against you. That's what Butterfly is. And anyone that complains about that is a crackhead. And Betelgeuse is in the same category right now because Betelgeuse pretty much looks at competitive play and players. I'm going to name some really cool. I'm going to say, okay, they're nice people, right? There's Lucas, there's PJ, Crampton, Isaac. Oh man, do we know any of these players? I'll even name my boy Pidgeotto, right? These are all guys that can do 40, 50 free actions in a turn and look at you and go, oh, I've wasted 15, 20 minutes of a game, right? To just shit all over you and guarantee my win in a one-turn alpha or set up the perfect defense or whatever jank that they want to do. And then goes, here's the steaming pile of flames that is our game right now that you're not going to win. And Beetlejuice goes, "No, you can't do that." Right? Now you got to play basic HeroClix. You can move, you can attack. You can do some of your powers. Like you can still charge, you can still running shot, but you're not getting the extra cool stuff. You're just getting a move half and shoot, or move half and punch. And that's what Beetlejuice's main point is, because it's basically saying, hey, non-competitive person, you want to come to your weekly event? You want to come to your weekly event? Yeah. Do you want to try and win that really crappy LE Black Panther prize just because you're a Black Panther fan? You know what? Play Beetlejuice and you got a chance, right? At least it tones down the BS. Yeah. And I'm all for it. Plus, let the juice loose.
I think that to go back to your point around the iconics, I think one of the things that I like about the iconics the most is like you actually know what you're getting. It's incredibly predictable, but it's also extremely accessible. And so yeah, sure, Kong was overpowered, but everybody could get one. And so like it was actually one of the best things they've done to make the game more accessible. Even if eventually you get sick of seeing Kong, but for if you don't want to have to drop $1,000 to play the game, you just go buy a $20-$30 Kong and you're good. And I think that's one of the
points. Let's go.
The best things that's happened to the game for that reason. Beetlejuice is interesting. I think the main so taking away main free actions, there's three that really come to mind that are like really egregiously abused, I guess we'll say, and that's sidestep is probably the number one. Mm-hmm. Outwit and perplex. Now it's also getting rid of poison. The thing where I think I have where it's probably a little more problematic, honestly. And so getting rid of those things is actually not that big of a deal. Where it's a little more problematic is the interactions with charge and running shot and the powers that combo. Because man, it's so confusing which powers require a capital range or a capital close to activate. It's like, oh, I can use Psychic Blast or Blaze Claw's Fangs, exploit weakness, but I can't use Mind Control. I can't use Energy Explosion.
Can't use Flurry.
You make it sound like we don't have a
that
piece of
interaction
cardboard that
where
says
I
that.
have a little more problem with it because it's just so confusing. That particular part, but I actually, I agree with what you're saying, Patrick. It's like it's kind of cool that it's just like more basic HeroClix.
It's going back to HeroClix from 20 years ago.
It's
some ways.
Yeah. It will separate the better players from the not better players because if you can play without your free actions.
So I think there's a really interesting, one way to think about it as I'm trying to think how to play Beetlejuice, and I'll admit I haven't played it yet, but I've just been kind of theory crafting it out and listening to some of our other podcasts in the community. They're really good. If you can't use Outwit, that's kind of like saying everybody has protected Outwit.
Yeah.
Think how powerful that is. Like, how many times have you looked at a piece and you're like, oh my god, this piece would be so good if only I could just have protected Outwit. And it's like your option to do so is like, okay, I could put Galactus on it. It costs me 25 points and it's one figure. Well, now what if your entire team is protected Outwit?
That's wild.
Yeah,
it's pretty interesting, right?
Assuming though that's not a reducer. That's the key thing though. You gotta make sure you say that because Psych Blast and Exploits still are a thing.
But those were always a thing, even
But just for the viewer that's newer,
energy, right?
The newer viewer, I just want to clarify that too.
Yeah. So the passive powers still exist. The other thing, because Perplex is gone, it makes it a lot harder to crank your attack or your defense up to ranges that are
23
unattackable or undefendable, right? And so I've been trying to figure out what is it that actually works really well with Beetlejuice. Let's assume that you're either playing Beetlejuice or if you're not, your opponent is. And so regardless, you have to build a team that kind of assumes he's going to be out there. Now you could go the hard counter route. There's a couple figures that kind of block him. And maybe we could start there. So
sure.
There's two that come to mind for me, and maybe I'm missing some, and I'm thinking primarily modern, but the two that come to mind are Despero
Black Panther.
Black Panther legacy card.
That's a really high-end legacy card and a basic super rare.
Yeah. Now,
so we'll say Despero is probably the one that's going to be played a lot more.
He's certainly more accessible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have to play him main board?
Yes. You
How many
have to
points
play
is he?
him 50. You must play him. You must
And
hard
have to
cast,
play-
as we say.
Yeah. So that
DP's
there is like an interesting what is Time Master's team that you can put it together with Despero main force, and it's not the worst thing.
Stealers.
Time Stealers. Sorry, thank you. Yeah, Time Stealers. It hasn't seen any play up till I've heard people talk about it. I haven't seen
Booth.
it.
I was going to say Booth. How'd you do in Modern with that?
So the thing that was nice about Time Stealers, right? I will admit though, my team was good in design. I made top 8 and then the California event with it. I lost to someone from Arizona, I think it was, because I picked the wrong map. But I'll say Time Stealers, the Time Stealer team itself, to answer the question, was really good because you pretty much guaranteed you're going first every game, or you're at least picking map every game. You get to make the choice. That was the nice thing about it. So you pretty much played your game 95% of the time how you wanted to play it when you were designing it, which was.
Do you think that team just got a lot better now that Betelgeuse is out there?
I think it probably did, because looking at the figures, Prodegaton, Ultra Humanite, and Despero were the 3 we're talking about, right? And Supernova you'd have to play. None of them really use a whole lot of free actions. Like Prodegaton loses his sidestep, big deal, right? Ultra Humanite never moved anyway, but he gave an action to effectively sidestep people, but it wasn't a free action, so you can still do that.
Yeah.
Supernova was on there to make the ability to get +1 to going first for every Time Stealer still work, right? And Despero is now your anti-TK, right? Well, he's your TK without punishment, right? So Time Stealer's probably got a nice bump from Betelgeuse, and since you are playing Despero now on that team, you can also say no to someone else, and someone else's sideline too. So even better.
There is one important free action that we actually didn't talk about, and you reminded me of it because you mentioned Prodegaton, which is Team Player.
Team Player wild cards
is a free action, so
Yeah.
you can't. So it shuts down your wild
no
card.
shield.
Make sure you
But
do it turn 1.
Yeah,
then.
Team Player does say until you pick again, right? So
Yes.
it doesn't stop current effects of free actions.
No.
So like if
But
you were
pulse wave,
perplexing,
the
yeah, if
duration
you pulse
would end.
wave.
Yeah.
But if like you perplex someone and then bring in Betelgeuse, you still get that perplex.
Correct. And just be careful though. I like what you were saying, Clay. There are ways of resetting it, but at the same time, the nice thing that Betelgeuse does, which I'm going to go off of what you're saying with that team player thing, is it stops those teams that are doing all that jank with constantly changing their team player for what they need. Oh, I'm going to do melee right now, so everyone's going to be Masters of Evil. Oh, I'm going to shoot. Everyone's now PD. Oh, everyone's now Superman enemy because I want all this outwit.
And Betelgeuse says you can't running shot outwit, or you can't running shot pulse wave.
Correct.
So you have to like walk up, wait,
Yep.
or TK up and pulse wave. So it makes the positioning a lot harder.
Hope everyone's got a Junta, because that thing's going to be good now.
So what do you think is? Have you got? I assume you all have been thinking about how to team build with this. What are like some of the paradigms that you're thinking about? Are there other pieces that you think complement really well that now maybe weren't doing so well but now are much better? Because like for instance, they have effective protected outwit.
Here's an easy one. I'll give you one for free, everyone. Hidari Yao has gotten a big boost because of him. Because if you look at her 100-point dial, she does no free actions. And all she has is
she has
running shot. Yeah, but she doesn't need to do the free action because Psych Blast is passive.
Yeah.
That's true.
So she doesn't care, right? So assuming you don't give her energy explosion or pulse wave somehow, which I guess you could in the next set with the universal weapon,
Ornament,
right?
yeah, thingy.
Just give her a trick arrow. That's no free actions there. They're an amazing combo. You can even still do it at the low end because she's still a sidestep, and you could sidestep her before you summon in your Betelgeuse. Like
Or
you
just
were
TK
saying.
her.
No, I'm saying TK her,
Time
time
breakers.
breaker
Like,
her,
there's
whatever
tons
you
of
want
other
to do,
options.
set her up first, right? And then make your Betelgeuse. And once she's set up, she never takes more than 2 damage, assuming you have 4 or more people without the deity keyword on your team, which is pretty easy to put out if you have time breakers. So I'm pretty sure her and Betelgeuse are amazing friends.
Yeah. One of the things that came to mind for me is characters that give passive stat boosts.
I was just gonna say, Green
Experts.
Man and Weasel are amazing right now.
Diana too.
And Flash Raptor.
Yes.
So
That
Flash Raptor
as well.
gives +1 defense to adjacent characters that share a keyword. I think one of Flash Raptor's problems also was that you could just outwit his super senses, his super duper senses.
Yeah.
Now that you can't do that, you can't outwit super senses, you can't outwit shape change. I actually think Flash Raptor, who was already pretty good, got better. Now the caveat is he can't use his free action Quake after he hits.
Yeah.
But maybe that's not what you have him there for anymore. Maybe he's actually now your best support piece.
He's still also an amazing, I run, I punch, I get out of there. Or I just run, punch, and then let's roll some dice, baby.
Let's hang out.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not a bad one. Another one that I liked was the new White Tiger. She doesn't really do any free actions because it's a beginning of turn effect to put out her Pog, the prime one. So it's like, oh, cool. I'm just going to walk across the field, or I'm going to charge across the field and just do a basic attack. Who cares? And then I'm going to drop this 12 and 4 Pog in front of your face. Right? That's great. That's really good. I think the one figure that I noticed that got really hurt by it, Prime Blue Beetle. That guy is loaded with free actions. I feel bad for anyone that plays him, and a lot of people wanted to play him. And then
he's good.
He's really good. The Legacy Starro got a boost because he doesn't really do any free actions because all you're going to do is support him, right?
This is where I think I would disagree. I actually think that the main way that people were playing and abusing him were using Cosmo,
those free
heals,
the free support, and Elsa and King Deadpool. And I actually think that whole strategy is much more difficult to pull off.
You're not wrong.
No free actions.
I'm going to call it the abusive way has now been shut down. But now think because of that, are you now going to play still an Elsa on your sideline for your butterfly, since now your sideline slots are very much more limited?
I mean, if you go second, they still heal.
You're right, because they can still just do regular action support, support, right? They'll burn actions for it, but more than likely the people that are playing on their sideline are not going to put Elsa out there because they're like, I have Betelgeuse, man. He can't do the free ones anymore. He can't do it as fast, kind of like what you're saying, Clay.
Right.
But you can still do it, right?
I think.
But is it good? Just because you can do something doesn't mean you can or you should.
That's very true too, right? But my point is, you can make that thought process there where you're just like, I'm playing Betelgeuse. I don't need an Elsa now.
So then other things. So then I think Black Lanterns get a boost.
Yep. They get a semi boost.
Scientists are hurt.
Yep.
But yeah, Black Lanterns, because you do free action grave trains. So yeah,
that's their big problem. That's their biggest problem. But I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, you can generate 3 grave train markers at the beginning of your game.
I don't think you can do. I don't think Black Lanterns work at all now because you can't put down grave markers.
No, I was just thinking. I was like, no, you can't put down any grave train markers. You can't port. You can't do anything.
Start with those, right?
It hurts the swamp, the man thing, swamp thing.
Yeah.
Teams, those are pretty much gone.
Yep.
Poison Ivy is.
Yeah, it hurts the free attack from Poison Ivy.
She's still okay, but she's limited because she really is going to be dependent on that man thing, though.
Yeah, the man thing.
The Man-Thing tokens are going to be the most important thing. But if you're fighting against him and Man-Thing drops some tokens out, well, your first turn is going to be like, I'm going to burn down the forest, baby. I'm going to shoot your tokens and just get rid of them. Now come out and fight.
And then they're stuck, right?
Mm-hmm. And the nice thing about Betelgeuse, here's a secondary effect that's amazing by him. You put him on your sideline, and all the good things that we just talked about with him doing out there, you know you're going to find people that are like, well, I got to have to play Black Panther or Despero now. And now you're going to be like, okay, pick a sideline element, man. Do you pick my Betelgeuse? Do you pick my Kython? How about any one of the many gods I play? How about one of those butterfly options that's going to hose your team?
But you're forcing them to make decisions at this point, right?
Correct.
So then if they make the wrong decision, you can you capitalize on it, you benefit from it, right?
And
if they happen to make the right decision.
It only gets worse with Collectors Trove because of the cards.
The one-shots.
The one-shots. Because let's be honest, the fact that there is a one-shot, and I'm going to quote it really easily, that's called Rivalry, which says for 5 points when a friendly character attacks a single target that shares a keyword with them. Oh, yeah, because keyword jank doesn't exist, right? Because it doesn't say printed keyword, it just says shares a keyword. You may choose not to roll the attack, and it auto hits, right? The fact for 5 points, I can guarantee that a hit on your Legacy Jennifer Kale, who you know only has 3 clicks of health. I don't care if you gave her.
Why would they think that's okay?
I think I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with the card. I'm okay with the card. But what it does is, just like you said, it makes them make choices. Do I protect my Jennifer Kale and her 21, 22, 23 defense that I built into my team? But then I let Betelgeuse go off, and now I'm hosed in a different way, right? I don't know. Maybe you play both.
One guaranteed hit per game.
And you're sacrificing 5 points. That's time breaker.
It's a dice game.
Yeah. What's that?
Yeah.
It's a dice game.
When you can manipulate the dice like that, it's annoying. Because there's nothing you can do to
against
counter
the Flash Raptor that you just said is so much harder now to kill.
Never had an
because
issue.
it becomes hit. You can't use senses or mastermind.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not on board yet. Maybe I'll be fine in like 2 months when it comes out.
It's shock value.
Initial response is like, we'll see. Like I said, Falkland's Law doesn't matter because it's not modern legal. So
one shots are a whole other topic.
What's up?
One shots are a whole other topic.
Yeah, I was like, we don't need to worry about that right now.
I think it is interesting as a concept. I actually like that they're costed. I think they're probably the most balanced new game thing they've done in quite a while. Honestly,
I like the idea of it.
It's like how do you actually create a one shot that has a cost that is something that people will still play, given that there's so many other things to put on your sideline.
That's not absurdly
+3 attack, right? So you still have to roll dice, right? Yep. Or if your attack misses, you get 1 reroll on it, right?
But you would never ever play those. You'd never play those. You need a guaranteed hit is something that I would actually pay points for.
Of course.
Like just increasing the odds, I'd never pay points to do that.
These are, I think, I've called them back to battlefield conditions, beats, and if you've ever played Heroclix, I condition it more to that, which is what they call twists. And in the game of Heroclix, you got 1 twist card I think you got like 3 for the game, but you had played characters that gave you more. And they brought that into this game with some of the chases, like Doctor Strange that says, "Oh, you play me? You can have these 3 Darkhold specific one shots for free that don't count against your sideline capacity, but you can't have any more, because of this effect." Oh, so did you just give me 3 twists / one shots for free? Yes. Do they still give your opponent points when you flip them down? Of course, as they should, right? But you just got something for nothing, right? And it didn't affect your sidelines.
As the synergy of the set should provide, right?
Yeah.
I think that the rivalry card is also mostly balanced because it says that it has to be a single
target.
The only one where I see that really fall apart is with the too dangerous trick arrow.
Yep.
Can't guarantee the quake.
No,
What's that?
It's not.
Yeah, I
perfect,
was
but
thinking-
guaranteed 3 damage to all that character and all adjacent.
Yeah. I was
But
when
if you're
I,
thinking
when
about
I
it, you're paying a lot of points to do that.
are you though?
Pretty
You
big.
are.
15-point
pretty
combo?
devastating attack, though.
It's a 15-point combo on a figure that has to be able to actually reach and do it, right? Which means you're
There's a lot of
investing-
figures that can do that though.
but you're investing a lot of points to be able to do that, guarantee it once, which could make or break a game. I know that's what Jeff's going to say.
No,
Right.
I was gonna say, you know who got better with Betelgeuse? Who's good at splashing damage?
Mhm.
Phoenix Sentinel.
Oh, your boy.
He got a bump, dude, because
Yeah.
he can deal a bunch of damage and doesn't care about the free action, right? He
No,
just
you can't
kills his
free region
regular.
though.
Huh?
Can't free region though.
You know, there's support. There's other things.
I suppose, yeah.
It's not the
I'm
end of the
curious to
world.
see if people can make him work again. I've personally felt like he got worse because, or like it became a lot harder to play him effectively because Iron Inquisitor left.
Yeah, you need that mastermind. The shield pump's nice.
Yeah, I was curious too. I think there's maybe something there. We'll see.
A lot of fun stuff to work with. I'm excited to team build. I know for the Clicks League West, I know Ryder's excited to build. Brandon maybe have some new spiciness. And February 1st, we're going to have the IC Regional Champion Clicks event at Clicks Collective. I'm very excited.
Coming
Save
out for
the
that one,
date.
Patrick?
We'll see how much money's in my bank account.
That's fair. That's fair. What about you, Clay?
I don't know yet.
February
that's fair.
1st.
That's
My
fair.
understanding is Atomic Comics also has an IC regional, and in fact, they have a co-sponsored event, modern event, this upcoming weekend too. So we're gonna see a bunch of new modern teams this weekend, I think.
Nice.
Is that going to be the first big modern tournament with Black Panther allowed?
No. Oh, modern? Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Cool. It's going to be interesting to see what people have cooked up with the new set.
Because the rest of the
see.
country is doing like Silver Age right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great first look at a possible new metagame for us heading
Yeah,
into 2025.
There was
Yeah, the last big
registered
modern event was the red, white, and clicks. And I was looking through the top teams, and I'm like, oh, that doesn't work anymore. Oh, that doesn't work anymore. It's like, it's interesting to see how you can just predict how Betelgeuse is going to reshape the meta.
Yeah.
exciting stuff. Should be good.
Hide your girlfriends, hide your wives. Black Panther and Jesper are going to help you against Betelgeuse.
Unless you just like main board him.
Dude, mainboarding him would be
Mainboard him. Ugh.
kind
To
of
be
fun.
fair, you could just go and kill those pieces and then bring in Betelgeuse. So,
Yeah.
I
It
mean,
is a
you could
thing.
also just kill Betelgeuse, but Betelgeuse is a little, depending on how where
He's
where
a
he
little hard to
comes-
kill, isn't he?
What's that?
Mastermind or
Said he's a
something,
little
I
hard to
think.
kill, isn't he?
It depends
Well,
on
we
the
have to
click
roll to see what
number
click
that
he comes in on.
comes in on.
So
Hmm.
I actually think that if you play Betelgeuse, you need somebody who has support to probably pump him up to top click. Because
Not
free support.
his top dial has Mastermind, and then and he is very hard to kill. Then
Talwart is a thing, baby.
Yeah.
unoutwittable Mastermind is a tough thing to deal with.
Yeah, because butterflies are fun.
Facts.
Yeah.
Endless. And yeah, unless you're going to sit there and sit for a turn to then energy explode the following turn or try and get TK lines. Right?
Just
Dude,
cry.
yeah. It makes the reach so much harder, right? Because it makes everything so much more predictable.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It's gonna be a lot more of a positioning heavy HeroClix, I feel. Because you're gonna have to like creep up. You're not gonna have that reach. So we'll see. Because I can't get 3 perplexes to my range. Or movement, yeah. Because that was what was working with the mystical team that Ryder was playing. Was like I throw a plex in a movement range, and then
Yep.
I can get the full board. Yeah, I'm a little short. So,
Yeah.
but maybe we drop Blue Beetle and play Hardy Owl instead. That might be fun. I like it.
I mean, he just did pull one, didn't he?
Yeah,
he did. Dude.
I think Ares is really good as well.
With camo.
With camo.
See, that's administering an IQ test, right? It's the
positioning.
It's the Fire Lord test, right? Because it was it Fantastic Four, right? You get energy exploded and you get damage dealt for each character adjacent next to you, right? So if you see it coming, right, you know not to bunch up. Like they shouldn't allow you to be adjacent. Like they shouldn't be adjacent to take that.
Yes, they shouldn't, but then allowing camo to pick off things one by one is a little scary.
Well, Brandon, you're our pro camo player. I'm curious, like
you
how
are.
do you think Betelgeuse affects camo? Because I was looking at him and I'm like, it kind of goes both ways.
I mean, if you're going the Ares route, there's no free actions involved, because it's TK. Well, I guess you have to free move the shark, but you can power move the shark, which is still fine because you have the actions for it. So you could power move the shark TK, because the port isn't free. It's when you're beginning to move. So that's 3 actions to TK, move the shark, and to attack with camo. So you still have an action to do something else. If you're playing Diana, maybe you can move Diana up for that +1 attack to help you not miss. And then, I mean, you can still play the one shot that guarantees a hit. You can't do the blade stay with Ares, but you could still guarantee that hit for 5 pen, and then knockback.
Yeah.
I always felt like camo got a lot worse after retirement with APOC Genesis went away and the new trick arrows that allow you to just get rid of the stop clicks.
Green Man does the same thing.
Green Man does do the same thing.
I mean,
it's a little tough. I mean, Wonder Woman's still a thing, regrettably. I feel like that piece should have rotated.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, I wanted that piece gone 2 years ago, but here we are. So,
she has like a 2021 figure.
That piece is ridiculous, dude. Like that piece is stupid good. And
speaking of her, what's about her combo with like the Black Panther Prime? Could that be?
That's right, because he does regen too, right?
So that piece, Black Panther Prime says when the adjacent. I don't think they have to share a keyword if they're adjacent, right?
It's either you have the Wakanda keyword
or
adjacent,
just be
adjacent,
and then you remove a vibranium from your sideline.
Yep.
And you remove a vibranium token from your sideline, and then they go to last click and heal 1 or something, and then he can also, but he generates vibranium himself when he hits leadership, and it's a 4 through 6 leadership.
Correct.
Was that once per game?
It's once per turn.
It's once per turn, his ability. So what you do need is we need kind of like a new, was it the Remaker ring that lets you like place somebody one square?
Oh,
place someone.
Spin. We need a spin ring of effectively, or bring back TKing your opponent's figures. That would be a helpful thing. Thank you. Hopefully protect
knockback.
Yeah, knockback.
But hey, you can't do free action. Sorry, my bad.
I mean,
you couldn't use the spin ring anyway. Though. Get the fuck out of here. Beetlejuice is out here.
I'm just saying we need something that can do that, right? But remember, if you're the Beetlejuice player, you choose when he gets dropped.
I hear you.
So you could do like 30-point Iron Fist. I'm gonna carry his ass up. He pushes the Prime Panther away, and you squish the guy, right? And then make him use his Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
There's strategies, right? It just you got to be a little more finesse with them,
right? Like I like the new trait that's coming out that's called Reap. Did anyone read that one?
Reap is interesting.
Where if you kill a character, I think it's like 30 points or less.
Yeah, 30 points or less.
You get an extra 10 points.
Oh,
yep.
Feels like the POG, the POG farm.
Yeah.
I guess it's
butterflies.
Cleaning up butterflies, right?
Yeah, butterflies. Any chase booster POG. Any POG generated by a character. Time breakers.
Jeez.
There's a lot of figures that are like even Prodegaton, because most Prodegatons are 20 points. You'll get 30 for them now.
Yep. It's a nice balance. I just want Reap to be on like an affordable character because the only person that I remember who has it is I think Thanos at 300 and 150. Like if I can get
there's the Play at Home Gamora and Nebula have it as well.
I want it on a good character that's like 75 points or less.
Well, you said affordable character. You said affordable character. I gave you an affordable character.
Affordable. Point-wise, not pocket. Affordable.
How expensive are those ones, man?
I don't think they're that expensive.
Don't think no.
They butts.
I mean, I'm not saying they're good. You just said a character that's affordable, and I gave you a character that's affordable.
Money. You gave me money affordable, man. You are what's called technically right.
Yeah. I knew what you meant.
So jumping back to Betelgeuse, what do you guys think of assassins in Betelgeuse? Like, so assassins, you can't. So, one of the things that if you can't outwit, so how do you get rid of defense powers? Well, assassins have the Talon. No defense powers on the target, right? Now you can't use Ra's al Ghul to change the target, but he's kind of sucks anyways, and maybe that's not a big issue.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did assassins get better with Betelgeuse?
The issue with assassins was that they never had the reach.
Every one of their good figures is a freaking prime.
Yeah.
Like the issue I had when I played them is like just trying to get there. I had the token on people to not use defense, but you don't have the range to get full board. Is the issue I was running into. Unless you guys had different experiences or working something different. I tried it even with the dead shot. Even with the dead shot, I had to sidestep, right? But then I went Mern instead of him, and I had some other tech. But yeah, I was struggling with getting across the board.
Assassins could be the best keyword out there if the designers did not hose assassins.
Yes.
Right? The fact that the Ra's al Ghul is that one's from Notorious.
80 points.
Overpriced.
That piece is expensive.
Right? Then he has his resurrection is a prime. What are you doing? Right? Talon, great price, amazing ability. But now I got to choose between, do I put the resurrection ration? Do I play this one? Or now, how about we just talk about the brand new Assassin Prime that they made, who is actually not a terrible figure. It's just she's not as good as Talon, right?
But to add on to the Race Prime also gives all of your Assassins +1 attack.
Yeah.
Like, that figure's also really good, but Talon's just better.
Yeah.
It's just so sad.
But does if you play Weasel and Green Man, does that solve your reach problem?
It doesn't. It solves the reach problem, but if you look at assassins, primarily the assassins that most people have been playing, outside of Deadpool and Hitmonkey, I feel like they're the outlier here, are more close combat oriented.
Mm-hmm.
Deadpool and Hitmonkey. They definitely are impacted by the nerf reactions.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can't do their range, right?
Yep.
Can't do the double
shit.
tap.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're like boo-boo on the team. Like, you shouldn't even play them now.
Yep.
They were your best attacker before.
Yeah. So, Assassins got worse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because without Deadpool, Hitmonkey, right?
Shadow was the one that you really wanted. Like, Shadow's one of the best assassins out there right now. But guess what? She
didn't like her.
But guess what? She can't do now.
She was overcosted or overhyped.
No, she's amazing. I don't know what she's smoking tonight,
she's
buddy.
very squishy.
The fact that she's just 30 points though. She's 30 points, triple target, 5 range. That says if I running shot, I do my range action, which of course she can't do because of Betelgeuse, because that's what we're talking about. She can shoot 3 times, but can't damage the same person more than once. So you running shot, triple target, pick on one person. Do the second shot. Just delete that first target and pick 3 new ones if you can, and just do it over and over and again. And she has precision strike, range combat expert, and enhancement.
Doesn't she only have like a 10 attack at that value?
Range combat expert.
I feel like Shadow is to you
as my cup of tea.
As Two Gun Kid is to Scott Crampton here.
Yeah.
You know what the difference is? Numerics prove that Shadow is better because her price as a figure has jumped from $20 to $50. She is seeing play.
I think they
Somewhere.
short printed Masters of Time because there wasn't a lot, and I don't think people bought that much unless they got it directly from WizKids. But again, the Alliance Warehouse
they get it directly from WizKids though, because they give
ran out
WizKids
quickly.
give you a free Colossal booster.
You know, so
which Colossals is a great idea. I love 2x2 figures, but they are notoriously do not sell well because it increases the value of a pack, and the pack is what $17.99 now.
Yeah, they're like $20 for Masters of Time.
I was gonna say outside the 2x2 pack, a basic.
Yeah, no, the
It's
basic pack was also increased inside of a brick.
That's what I'm saying. Like right now, what's the cost of a basic pack?
$17.
Yeah, $17.
$17.99, right? And then with the new set, I wouldn't be surprised if it jumps by another $1. One pack of HeroClix is almost $20.
I also think that's something like that's hindering the growth of the game.
Yeah.
Because if you look at TCGs, right, you can get a pack for what, $1, $2, and then.
But TCGs you playing?
Yeah. What
okay,
you
but
play,
like
buddy?
for like Yu-Gi-Oh, I play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh, but yeah, $5, right, at the most.
So like Pokemon packs are $5. One Piece
you get a pack,
is like $5.
Pay $5, you get a pack, right? And you could get something worth hundreds, right? In HeroClix, you buy a pack for $20, and usually the highest thing you can get is $200, right? But not every set has a Carnage Silver Surfer that goes for $300 consistently over multiple years. These figures go down, and they go down quickly when the next set drops.
Basic pack of HeroClix loses you money.
Yes, very much so. And
right?
way more inconsistently gives you money than a TCG.
And that's why for a while they've been pushing buy it by the brick. Because in a brick you're going to get 3 to 4 super rares that are all going to be worth $20, right? And that chase hopefully makes up the rest of the brick. But now at $220 a brick, that ain't happening no more.
I mean, it depends on the super rares you get too. Some of them go for $10, and then you get really sad.
No, usually on release dates, $20.
Yeah, but that's if
you
you
get
sell on
Darkseid
release.
and you're like, yay!
You're like,
Yeah.
yay!
If you get a Darkseid, you're very happy. But like, and then you get what's a bad super rare from MOT? What was the one you
Vandal
played
Savage?
at Team? Yeah, I was like Vandal Savage.
Dude, I rock
like
the hell out of
$10.
Vandal
Rick
Savage.
Hunter? Was it Rip Hunter?
Rip Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah, like every set has these, but like sometimes you can just get screwed over in your brick, and you can get both of those in a brick, and then no Darkseid, and then you're just really sad.
I would just buy a pack of Black Panther and just get any of the super rares that's like other than like 1 or 2 of them. Whoa!
But then you do hit that one, right? And you just despair.
Gambler's mentality here.
Yeah.
Hey, you get that Night Thrasher, right, man? Everyone wants that Night Thrasher.
Hey, don't hate on Night Thrasher.
Terrible figure.
All right. Well, very thoughtful discussion tonight, friends. I think we've covered a lot. Was there anything that we missed?
I'm looking at our chat.
I think that hit it.
Collectors Trove first impressions. You want to end with that?
We talked about it already. Like it was kind of. Clay said he wasn't as impressed with his he necessarily was 2 weeks ago, and how they kind of dropped the ball and should have put an object in each.
I will say I'm a lot less excited about the set than I was when it was first announced.
It's fair. I do know I want that collector legacy card. That I saw that, Clay. Thank you for posting that. That's amazing.
Which one?
The brand new legacy card. If you haven't seen it, I guess I will read it to everyone.
Yes. Which one?
It's the one from. It is from.
ABPI number 64.
ABPI, yeah.
The collector one. Oh, that piece it looks so good.
Yes, that is what I like to call the tragic fix of a really nice figure that was butts when he came out, and now he's good, right? Because if you haven't seen it, people, here's your hot take, right? His first trait says during forced construction, collector may be assigned an equipment without paying its cost. Great, now you get free Mjolnir if you want, right? Collector may be equipped with any number of equipment too, which is kind of cool too, right? I love when they make characters like that, but they don't have a way of getting equipment really easy. But wait, there's more. He has a fellow collector at the beginning of the game if an opponent's force or sideline includes a non-character game element other than a standard terrain. He starts at his 0 click, right? So he gets an extra free click of health. And his attack power, which he has every click except for his last click, says when he hits a single equipped opposing character, he has a 7 range, right? That character chooses one. So your opponent chooses this. Do you want to unequip and equipped equipment? Do you want to take unavoidable damage? Right? So do you want to lose the thing you paid points for or got for free? Right? Or do you want to just take his 3 or 4 damage, depending on what you give him, or you juice him some other how? That's unavoidable. No one's going to take that. What? You're just going to
no one's taking
stuff.
Unavoidable. That's
No.
wild.
That's crazy.
Dude, you could take up to 6 Unavoidable. No, that's dumb.
And he has a free action
There's
that
more.
says equip an unheld and unequipped equipment within range and line of fire. So pretty much what he does is, oh, cool, you picked to unequip yourself and you dropped it. Free action. Now it's mine.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
From
then he
7
just dies next turn.
Right. He doesn't die next turn. He's 45 points. Right. He's there to do a job. Right. And
just steal equipment.
Just to steal equipment. Give him some sort of move and attack, and he's happy. Right. And then just let him ruin your opponent's day by stealing their trick hours or something like that. Because once you take some equipment that they are banking on a team with, the 45 points are worth it. And then you could just do something simple like I did in a battle royale this weekend, where you have a Pog that has sidestep and has the ability to fly. Just pick him up, take him for a ride, and get him out of there. Great.
Take my equipment, you die.
You know what's an equipment that can give movement attack? Oh my gosh, the motorcycles in the hell cycle? Oh wow, it's like a match made in heaven.
Yep. And he gets it for free.
Hypersonic.
Yep. No, you pick run shot because he has a 7 range.
Yeah, running shot him.
So
that's the running shot, the one that comes
4 plus 7 is 11, or
it's gonna be 5 because you get +1.
Okay.
From the motorcycle, so that's 12, and then 1 TK is 16.
Okay, so then you can hypersonic for 9 plus 4 is 13.
13. You still need the TK.
So hypersonic, like I said, is probably better.
Yeah,
is hypersonic better though?
You get 13 squares to attack. Yes.
You get 1 more square, but you're also 3 squares closer to them.
But you get the better defense ability, which I will defend Jeff in this, that you do get energy shield, which is a boon compared to the running shot, which I think it only gives you a passenger 1.
I don't know what run shot gives you, to be honest with you.
I think it's the passenger 1. Charge gives you the super senses.
Yeah.
Yeah, charge gives you the senses. Yeah. I mean, that is true.
Cool. We'll get more into Collectors Trove as things drop a little more.
We're not missing much. I think we're missing
probably 1 or 2 cards,
3 super rares or something, and like maybe 3 or 4 chases, and a couple equipment. So
we're missing at least 2 chases because there's a gap between 39 or 40 and 43, and 40 and 43 are both chases. So we're missing at least 2. I don't know about the rest.
Just to wrap up an episode that starts with a rant, will end with a rant. Why the hell is there a bystander token that is an equipment?
So bystander, that's an equipment?
That is a good observation there, Clay.
What is this?
So the Etherion armor. Right.
It came in a chase booster.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know why, and I think this is where I guess I'll rant now, Clay, so you don't have to rant twice. One of the things that I am disgusted by right now that WizKids is doing, and I don't use that word very often because this is something that's really important, is I hate and I'm disgusted by the fact when a company makes game elements and makes them so limited that even the above average player, so the partially competitive player, cannot gain access to them. Why are you making this? Ultra Chases were a good example of this, but guess what? There's never been an Ultra Chase ever that you're like, I gotta play this, right?
Mephisto. I
don't know about that one.
There's a while where MOEs were
where
the thing to play.
He was a must play until Porters came out.
Correct.
It was a must play.
There was always something in the environment that kind of countered them. Okay, and you know what? I'll just say, if anything, he's the one outlier. Every other Ultra Chase, other than him, though, it was a cool collector thing. Superman going around the world, awesome figure. You ain't playing it. Zod, Ursa, same thing. White Rabbit, nope. Cake, Deadpool, all of those guys, awesome things.
Kevin.
Kevin, we don't talk about Kevin because he's like Bruno. He don't exist, right?
Dude, I still said my Kevin would have been good. But...
Sure. But the point is, anytime WizKids made something that was, let's just call it, impossible for the person that does not have money, just to
average person, right?
Not even average. This is above average, right? The person that just can't throw $750 around to get a Kevin, you know who I'm looking at, right? Well, in viewer land, I know there's some of you out there that done that, right? And I respect the fact of your dedication, but WizKids, you should not be doing this with these Pogs, because Chase boosters, I've seen stores that get one. They're lucky to get one, right? I also just saw a store that got 6 of them just because they ordered 2 and they got 4 more for some reason. And there's other stores going, how do I get these? Right? The fact that you put something exclusive in there like this token and there's no other way of getting them is sickening. And if these tokens were just something like, oh, this equipment's cool. Oh, it gives flight and toughness and it's 5 points. That's cool. But the fact that you're making game-breaking elements like Timebreaker, this stupid Pog right here, a $200 frickin' Pog. Weasel, a $250 Pog. Why is this thing $200 and $250? Why? It's just because it's not that it's just good. It's just the fact that
rare.
It's impossible, not rare, impossible to get.
The rarity is like crazy.
WizKids, I know you make these by the dozen. You gave us dice and token sets for years. My shelf has every dice and token set you ever made, except for one, because I'm not gonna lie, I did not get the Harley one, right? Because I just couldn't get it, right? Almost everyone. I know you make these. Why can't you just make dice and token sets and just put this on the backside of it?
Dude, imagine how many dice and token sets they would have sold with Timebreaker and Weasel inside.
Correct.
Holy shit. Yeah.
Make money, WizKids. You know these Pogs are good. Put it into the public that everyone can get them, not just the ultra rich and wealthy or those people that just get lucky, right? I'm looking at you, Scott Crampton. You're a great guy. I've met you once or twice. I like you. But the fact that people can just throw $300, $400, and $600 around to get stuff, it's ridiculous. Do not cater to the ultra wealthy, rich, or lucky. Just let everyone get it. That's my rant on these Pogs.
Yeah, oh my God, if there are 16 Pogs in Collectors Trove, like, you know, the set, if there are like, you know,
they're killing
about the ratio from Pogs to figures. If that's what it is, oh my God,
that'd be so bad.
But they're killing the completionists in the game because the completionists know they can't get these bystanders, and a lot of the completionists aren't hardcore players. Like, some of them play the long games and stuff, but you get to a breaking point where you're like, man, I know I'm not going to complete this. Why bother completing the rest of it? And I've heard players do this. Especially, it started specifically with 120 team-up cards in JLU.
Holy.
Yeah.
And then we got Taros.
And then the Taros, and then what do you call it? Another
House
more
team-up cards. Yeah.
Well, House. Thank you. The House X team-up cards, like. Dude, sometimes the extra game stuffs are cool. It's fun, but they get too carried away. Like you said, they could put it in the dice and token pack. They could put it in the booster. Like, they did a great job adding the legacy card to the top of the booster of the brick, right? Throw a freaking bystander in there or something. Like, they can figure it out.
A team up card should have been 1 per booster when they did it, right? You got a figure in the pack that could.
Well, you shouldn't have made 120 of them.
But the thing is, it would have been easy to do it. Every time you pulled a Superman, you got one. You pulled an Amazo, you got one of his. Make them easy. Make them very easy to have access to. So yes.
But you remember how expensive those Amazos were in the beginning?
You're not wrong. But the reason why they were so expensive is, do you remember how many team up cards you got per brick.
3,
2.
4.
It was 2 was guaranteed. Some bricks came with 3, some came with 4 if you were lucky, right? Out of 120, do the math on that, people.
Dude, that's
right?
rough.
That is bad, right?
Boy.
Even 10 out of 120 isn't great.
Right. Okay.
And
now
some of them
I'm
are
hoping
like
these
crazy
cards.
expensive.
Hoping these new cards are not the new tarot cards.
The
Right?
one
shots.
One shots are going to probably become the new tarot cards. Congratulations. I hope everyone jumps on eBay day one or like within the first week of them and just goes, you know what, I'm going to drop $100 and get them all. Because
I don't think that's the case. It looks like they're coming like 5. There are so many. I even heard like one shot per booster.
Dude, in the Scott Porter videos, he pulled like 1 or 2 for the first like 5 boosters.
I think it's
so
one
far.
every booster.
Yeah.
And there's only 15, and one of those is the play at home kit. So
great.
Yeah.
Then they're doing it. They're fixing it. Then they're fixing it. Good job for WizKids.
Well, except they still have the bystander tokens that come in the retail.
Hey, one problem at a time, Clay.
See, with the issue with the tarot cards is that over half of them came from the OP sets that were almost near impossible to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. At least they're hoping they realize their mistake.
1 per booster. The swords were, but the tarots weren't.
Yeah.
The swords work the same through the main set and the 3 OP sets, right?
And the
month
OP set
1
was still expensive.
No, but month 1 had different tarots than month 2, 3, and the main set. There was 4 different distributions of tarot cards.
And you had the starter too, which is another $70 that came with their own exclusive tarot cards.
Which
and
is
some of those are really good, like the Charge Plus 2 one.
The devil card was terrible, but yeah.
But, that's fine. There's still continuity, at least in the starter. So you're getting some value out of it, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the theme of it. Like, that's fine. I don't have an issue with that. Those starters were a little expensive in my taste. And they were hard sells, right?
I think they changed that with the most recent starter. Because in the new price point on the recent starter is like $30.
2024, I think the retail was like 40.
I think it was 40, yeah.
40.
Isn't the 25 the same thing? It's like 29.
It should be
the same thing.
Something like that, yeah. And they made them more playable. If you
the Superman looks really good.
Go check them out.
All right. So let's wrap up the rant.
Until next time, don't forget to practice rolling your dice, friends. Take it easy.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.